So the fight is off. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. The fight we've all been waiting for at least the last 7-8 years. I'd say at least since 2015, 2016. That we thought was finally going to happen in Saudi Arabia under the sponsorship of MatchRoom Boxing and Skill Challenge, Prince Khalid's promotional team. Well, guess what? It is off, canceled. They said it was going to happen in December. Then Eddie Hearn and AJ started talking about January. Then we heard Malik Scott affirm that date. And then we heard Deontay Wilder also affirmed the date, well, to a large extent. And then Eddie Hearn a few days ago saying he had a text from Shelly Finkel. Well, guess what, people? That fight is off, canceled. Why? Because Anthony Joshua is scared to get splattered by Deontay Wilder. My source, the casuals, the haters, the naysayers, the boxing newbies and the neophytes, the people you should not be listening to when you talk about boxing, and the people that talk just like I just did the last 30 seconds or so. That fight is going to go on. Nothing Anthony Joshua does satisfies these people. Before I go on, hit the like button, subscribe. Do not forget to comment. I do not mind divergent opinions. I love it. I live for it. I love people that disagree sensibly. And even if you don't have any sense, you don't have common sense, that's fine with me too. Yeah, so the latest news going around is AJ will never get in the ring with Deontay Wilder after his performance with Robert Helenius. AJ will not get in the ring. Eddie Hearn is going to be scared to put his cash cow in front of the Bronze Bomber. He's going to get detonated. He's going to get sent to another dimension, like Malik Scott said. He's going to get sent into another stratosphere. Listen, we've heard it all before. And if there's something I am confident over, and until I am proven wrong, it is that Anthony Joshua is not scared of any heavyweight right now. And I am willing to bet $1 to your 50 cents that Anthony Joshua, when they eventually meet in that squared circle, absolutely demolishes Deontay Wilder. And why do I say that? Their boxing pedigree, their skill set. I think on that day, Deontay Wilder is going to throw so many right bombs, and Joshua is either going to evade them or eat them like he ate Klitschko's right hand in what was it, the sixth round of his fight in Wembley, and he's going to get up, and that is going to confuse the hell out of Deontay Wilder. And I absolutely believe Anthony's skills is going to come through. Yes, he has to be more aggressive. Yes, he has to put together a better game plan with derrickjames. You know, now he moves his head better, just like he did prior to just right up until fighting Carlos Takam. If you watch when he would fight, even though he has this Steve style, but up until he fought Takam and Parker, he would still move his head. He bobbed and weaved. I think he always tried to fashion himself in the likes and the mold of people like Mike Tyson. So I think he looked at himself like a Tyson, even though, you know, he's more of like a giant stature and he's bigger and way taller. And I think that Anthony Joshua that we used to see back then, with that we seen so much prospect in him of becoming one of the greats, is gradually coming back. After this Robert Helenius demolition job, I think he has a little bit of more confidence in himself. Left to me though, if I was to guide his career, I would have gave him probably 2 more fights, at least 2 more fights against lighter opposition than one against mid-level opposition, like someone like in the mode of Helenius again. So I would have gave him 1 or 2 more fights, not just to build his confidence, because I think his confidence is getting back up there, but to just see what they've been working on manifest, and to see what else could be worked on. I think he's absolutely gonna demolish Deontay Wilder. Come on. Joshua is too disciplined a fighter, even in his personal life, to fall to Wilder. Wilder does ayahuasca. You can't get more dope addicted than that. Wilder, that's one step below cocaine. He does ayahuasca. He has never denied smoking weed. He used to say it in interviews. He actually did say it in recent interviews in like the last 3 weeks or a month that I was watching the interview. He was joking about, I take a blunt here and there and blah, blah, blah. That shows me where your heart is. That shows me where your mental is. You smoke weed. You probably drink, and you do ayahuasca. All Joshua got to do is hit him on the side of the head and recrack his cranium where Fury left it at. Whatever the plastic surgeons did, you crack that shit open again, and that's it. So I do not see how he's gonna beat Joshua. Joshua's too skilled for him. Joshua's too skilled. Yeah, he has that right hand. But also remember, Deontay Wilder is on his way to 40 years old. He's not the same guy he used to be. I still look at that knockout he had of Helenius. I still looking at it with a side high, And for people to now come around and try to compare and say Joshua's knockout was a setup and Joshua's knockout of Helenius was like they gave the signal when he tapped him in the chest. I'm like, yo, what are people watching? Don't people know boxing? He feinted with his left hand. Gave him the left hand. He kept doing it, trying to see where his attention was going to go. Gave him the left hand, touched his stomach, and boom, went for the overhand and knocked him out. If you want to see something similar but not in the same exact fashion, go watch Ibeabuchi versus Chris Bird. He did the same thing. He waved his right hand. Chris Bird looked at the right hand, came with the left, boom, uppercut, knocked him out, right hook, boom, dropped him out. All Chris Bird started dribbling Spittle like he was, I don't want to say the word, the R word. So yeah, that's it. The fight is not off. I just started off to make jests because these people have started annoying us once again. I don't know. A lot of times I think these guys are just Fury supporters or just Joshua haters. Like they look at themselves in the mirror and they hate what they see. If they're not saying Joshua's chinny, how someone can be chinny and they always stand up is what I don't understand. They say Joshua's weak, but he was unified champion for all these years and nobody wanted to fight him. Wilder didn't want to fight him. $120 million was in his face. Fury didn't want to fight him either. Instead chose to fight Wilder 3 times. Then he tried to bamboozle him into fighting last December, knowing that Joshua was not in the right space of mind. Now Joshua gave him another contract. Come on, let's do this. He decides to fight against Francis Ngannou. So all these guys duck and dodge, but then they turn around and they try to sway the public against Joshua. And in a way, I blame Joshua for that because he never used to come out to defend himself. But I'm quite happy now that he's more coming out of his shell. He's no more like carrying on with the media trained nonsense. He's really coming out and like he's basically telling people, go F yourselves. I really don't care. So the real big Femi, Don Joshuahelenius with the mafia music. Speak softly to me, my love. By the way, the Al Martino version is the best version. Go listen to that. Speak softly, my love. So yeah, Big Joshua's coming back. I think he's gonna do some damage. I think he's gonna, if he can keep going, I think he has a chance to clean out the division. He has a chance to become not only unified again, but I think there's still a chance he could become undisputed. If he manages his career well, he could very well become undisputed champion, which has long been his dream. And maybe, in the future, when all is said and done, we might all look back and say, well, he might very well be one of the greats. I'm not going to say top 10 or top 20 or even top 30, but, maybe we compile a top 50 and then we might sneak him in there as the best of this generation. Because I do not like when I hear people say greatest of all time and they mention Tyson Fury, I always just laugh because like this, you have to be a complete noob to even think Tyson Fury cracked the top 100 best heavyweights of all time. I wouldn't even put him in a place. Even Two-Tone Galante has a place in that top 50 before Tyson Fury. Who you gonna put Tyson Fury ahead of? Max Baer? Who? Ezra Charles? Not even Sonny Liston? Not even Floyd Patterson? Not even Cleveland Williams? Like I can name 120 heavyweights before I even think about Tyson Fury. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. The whole point of this whole rant is the fight is not over. It has not been called off. It has not been pulled off. It has not been canceled. The fight still goes on as far as we know today. Joshua Wilder, January, hopefully we see Joshua again sometime in October. Something that's not going to risk his health or cause any injuries. Just something to keep tuning up. Like the fighters of old. I like what he's doing. And I like the advice and tutelage he's getting under Derrick James. And the fact that they seem to genuinely mesh, which is something Joshua did not have with Robert Garcia, makes me happy that at least Joshua found someone after McCracken that he looks up to and that can guide him like a big brother. And utmost respect to that man. I like him. He's always been a good ambassador of the sport, and has also always been a good role model. And wish him many success, much success, as much as I try to be neutral when it comes to combat sports. Joshua is someone that I've always liked and I always wish well. So in any event, hit the like button, subscribe, and do not forget to drop a comment, and let's keep marking the calendar until the January dates. Peace.